Hey everyone, Lisa here, your wellness and well-being coach with another Health Freedom Series episode for you. And before I get started, I just wanted to let you know anything I say in this video or anything you hear in this podcast is my opinion mixed in with a little fact I found out from other sources. And you are not to take this as a diagnosis, treatment, or cure for any condition you may or may not have. On that note, I'd like to get started talking about the so-called V-card or V-pass or whatever it is they're trying to push forward around the world and in certain areas of the United States. I've done a lot of research on this. I do research on other search engines besides Google, like DuckDuckGo, although they're becoming more and more filtered and censored as well. But you do have to dig down a little bit further on those, but sometimes it's better to speak to people and then go directly to the person's website. You know, there are doctors, scientists, virologists, and other people that I do follow. And I also do go to the actual health agencies' websites and I go look at their documentation. And I'm not talking about just the page. I actually click on the links and do my research through the documentation, maybe at the CDC, the FDA, the NIH, any health agency that mentions something or is trying to push forward with something. I always try to go look at the documents. Lucky for me, a lot of the doctors and scientists that I follow, they do have the documents, so it's really easy to see it in their videos. I'm not going to make it a habit in these videos to show you those. I will mention names and sometimes websites that you can go to find them. And I do suggest that you always do your own research. So when I was looking into the V-Pass or the V-Card, one of the things I ran across every single time is that they do not prove that you are not sick. They don't prove that you're healthy. I kept digging and digging for information. And what I did dig up is that they're not doing it for health. The reason they want to do the V-Card is they want to coerce or push more people into getting the C-19 shots and any other shots that they come up with in the future for any other reason. I did find documentation in some of the websites down in FDA, NIH, that the CDC, that what they want to do is they want to increase the vaccination schedule for adults. So they basically want to be able to tell you that unless you've gotten all your shots, whatever they may be, whatever they're coming up with. So in other words, you know, it could be something that's not even a threat. And they say that you need to get that just in case, or you cannot participate in certain parts of society. I want everyone to think about that. For me, it's always about health freedom and your freedom to choose. And you're going to want your freedom to choose, even if you think you want to take it from someone else, you're going to want that someday. So I think we all need to come together, whether we want to get the series of C-19 shots or not. I think they're on number 3 in some parts of the world, and other parts of the world, they're already on to shot number 4 in less than 2 years. And they, I think, have room on the card for 7 or 8. So this is a very dangerous place, and we're kind of in a precariously perched, so to say, because if you think about the basics, if I'm sick with the flu and I have a card that says I got a flu shot, but I'm still sick with the flu, and I walk into a bar or a restaurant, I can still give you that germ. I'm still contagious, right? So that card does not show that I'm healthy. It does not show that I don't have any illness. It does not show that. So when I started listening to some of the city council meetings, county council meetings, even some of the federal level meetings, I'm noticing that the general census is that they want to do this not to protect people for health reasons, not to prevent transmission or spread, because that's not what the shots do. They want to do it because they want people that are not able to get it or cannot get it or do not want to get this particular series of shots. They want to force and coerce them into getting them. And this has been stated. There are governing bodies and people in those governing bodies that have actually stated it. And they've actually said, we need to get more people to get the C19 shot. So I think this is a good way of doing it. That's the reason that they're stating. So before you buy into that whole program, I just think it's really important for all of us to think about it, not on an emotional level, not on a, oh my God, I'm totally against, getting the shots, or I'm totally for getting the shots, and there's nothing else, that I can even look at. I think it's really important for us to sit down, go over it, and really understand on the basic level of a VPAS, it's not for health. I've heard some people in conversations saying, I really think that some people, yes, they should be excluded from going to bars and restaurants if they haven't gotten this series of shots. And I say to those people, well, just because they got the series of shots or didn't get the series of shots, that card does not prove that they're not sick with something, that they can't spread something to you. How does that prove whether a person is healthy or not? And they say, oh, well, that doesn't matter. We just want them to get the shots. And I said, so it's not really about spreading anything. It's really about telling the people that didn't get the shots they're bad, and telling the people that did get the shots that they're good. So on a basic level in society, that not only is a divider, and it will create a lot of division, but it also is partially illegal. But besides that, there are a lot of lawsuits out right now in different cities, states, counties, even at the federal level, that are actually saying, no, this is not, whether you want to say constitutional or legal, it goes against people's rights, because the bottom line and what those cases are being tried on is that particular card or pass does not prove a person healthy, does not prove a person is not ill, is not sick, does not have something. I personally know a lot of people that have gotten it and haven't gotten it. I know a lot of people who have, gotten all of the series of shots. Like I said, I think they're on number 3 here now, that have gotten sick. And so basically, these people who have gotten all of the shots have also gotten sick, and some of them have ended up in the hospital. And I don't want to get in an argument over how many of which side is in the hospital. That's not what this video is about. This video is about the basic principle that a card does not prove that you are not sick. So basically, all these people that have their card that have gotten sick were allowed to go to restaurants, they were allowed to travel, they were allowed to go into bars, go to events, sick, ill. And some of them I know did. I won't mention names, of course not. But that on principle, if you are buying into that system, that is an old system that they used to use in 1930s Germany, and they've used it several times in several places since, that is actually another system. It's not for health. It's not to prove that somebody is healthy and is allowed to go somewhere because, they can't, spread germs to someone else. That is being used for more of a control or coercion. And in my world and where I grew up, and my morals and my values tell me that there's something very wrong about this. So I just want you all to think, and I want people just to really consider. Stop with the emotions. Stop with the, oh, you pushed my button and I don't like you, or, I don't like what you're saying. Let's knock that off. Let's think like rationally. And I know it's hard and very difficult these days for people to think rationally. But I would like for everyone to just think, whether you got the series of shots or not, does that prove that you are never going to be sick, never going to be ill, never going to come down with something, never, going to have some type of a germ and not be able to, spread it around? If you believe in germ theory 100%, which that's for another video, because there is such a thing as terrain theory, which does have an effect as well. But, I just had to comment and chime in on this because I did listen to a county council meeting the other day, and every council member admitted that, they felt that they had the information they needed to move forward with a VPass or a V-card type of system in their county. But they were going to hold off. And the only reason they were going to hold off, I think, is because a lot of businesses called in and said, please don't do that. That's not going to help the situation. And I also think there were some other reasons that they came up with, but all of them agreed we would move forward with this if the circumstances were a little different, and we will table it for now, but we will come back to it if necessary. And some of them were outright just saying, well, we're doing this because we want to get more people to get those shots. And I said, well, that's really nice. So basically, you're not doing it to protect other people's health, although that's what you're telling your constituents. But what you're doing is you're actually doing it because you have another reason. The people that are in charge, they have beliefs and different ideologies. They have, different ways of looking at things, and they're letting a lot of their opinions dictate what they do and what they don't do with this VPass and this V-card type of system. And I feel very strongly that, anyone who has gotten the shots, as a matter of fact, there's a guy that is in New York, and he's going around, and it's called the Rip It Up movement. And he and a bunch of other people who have gotten the shot series, maybe they got 1, 2, or 3, whatever it is, they are ripping up their cards, and they're saying they're not going to participate in showing their card anywhere because the card does not show that a person isn't sick. And they're even saying the same thing I am. They're like, we have a lot of friends that have gotten the shots. I got the shot. I got sick. I heard somebody the other day say, I got 2 shots and 2 COVIDs. I'm done. And I'm not telling you whether you should get it or not. What I'm telling you is please think about where this could be leading and where this could go. There is information on it. I know a lot of people don't like to go down rabbit holes, and that's fine. But you can go right to the website, World Economic Forum, the WHO, you can go to the NIH, the CDC, the FDA, and you can dig down in some of the links. Sometimes you have to read and go pages and pages and pages and look at the actual documents behind it. But if you go to the websites and you see anything that mentions digital ID, VPass, V-card, green card, anything like that, read into what it's actually saying. Like, read into what it's about. Some people just read the surface and they'll read the first, line or paragraph, just like the media likes to give you one-liners and a little bit, but they never tell you the whole truth and what's really behind it. So there's a lot more to this VPass program from what I'm seeing and what I'm researching online. And I just ask that you keep an open mind and you also look into it a little bit more, because I'm noticing that they're wanting to use it not for health, not because they say, even if you got the shot series, you can still, get, transmit, spread, whatever it is. And the jury for me is still out on what it is, but it doesn't matter. I say that, a card does not prove that you're healthy. Now, you may want to hearken this back to, measles or mumps or something like that. But people who have gotten the shots have still gotten the measles or mumps or whatever, and then usually they just stay home and they do their thing. Some people are, so quick to point out, something from the past, but I think this one is a little bit different. Let's go on what we have here for this particular situation. We've already proven out that, whether you get the shots or not, it does not change your ability to get or transmit the germ or whatever it is that's going around. And some people have said, well, it keeps you out of the hospital. And I say, well, that's not true either, because I have also had many people over the past few months that have been in the hospital, first of all, because of the shots, but also because they've come down with, pneumonia, and they're calling it COVID pneumonia, but some of it might be regular pneumonia. We don't know. Okay. So basically, you can still get sick. You can still spread it. The card doesn't prove that you can't. So why use it? Why separate and segregate people? If you don't feel safe going out somewhere because you have a different viewpoint or a different belief, I think we all need to check ourselves. We need, I check my beliefs and my reasoning all the time. I understand where somebody would be afraid of getting ill. I totally get that. And I totally understand that. And it is your prerogative to get the shot series. It's your prerogative to wear a mask. It's your prerogative to wear as many masks as you need. Do what you need to protect yourself. But if all those things supposedly work, then why do other people who can't partake have to suffer for that? That doesn't make any sense. And that probably is a whole nother conversation. So just back to the VPAS, I can honestly tell you that it doesn't matter. People that are sick and have flu-like symptoms, whatever it is they have, and they go into bars and restaurants with their V card, are still spreading something around. So just because you're in a restaurant that is carding for this, for this pass, doesn't mean that you're any safer. It doesn't mean that you're not safe. It doesn't mean anything, really. It really doesn't. And while we're on the subject, it's really none of your business or the shop owner's business on whether you've gotten the shot series, especially because, like I said, it doesn't seem to be preventing illness. So I think we have to approach it a different way. And I wish that we would just get back to everybody being responsible for themselves and their own health, because, I am a health and wellness coach, and I do research a lot, and I do try to stay healthy myself as much as possible. And I do think everybody needs to take a look at what they're doing for their own health and stop pointing the fingers at everybody else. If you feel that, getting the shots works, then you go get them and you should be protected. That's the way it's supposed to work, right? And if it's not working that way, don't we have to question it? Shouldn't we question it? I think so. I think we have to start thinking, and don't be so quick to judge. Don't be so quick to snap. Don't be so quick to have your buttons pushed, because there's so many different facts out there that you're probably unaware of. I'm unaware of. I don't have all the information. But I do know from just looking at the situation and seeing a lot of the people that I know who have gotten all the shots get sick or come down with something. We don't know what it is, but the fact that they can go out to a restaurant and spread whatever it is they have, and someone who didn't get it can't go. There's a lot more to it. And we just really, really need to start sitting back and taking a deep breath, looking up things on our own. Please always use your common sense a little bit. Don't be so quick to think that you know everything and that your viewpoint is right, and you are the end all of all the information. I don't even think I am. Don't even trust me. Like I said, do your research. But I will tell you this: the headlines on Google and in the mainstream media are only going to show you what they want you to see. And that's a whole nother video. But when we talk about health freedom and your right to choose, whether you partake in a medical procedure or not, and then we go down the road of saying, oh, well, you have to partake in this medical procedure and you must show your V card to enter a restaurant or a bar or an event, I think we're taking it one step too far. We never did this with the measles, the mumps, or the flu shots. Why are they doing it now? Do a little bit of digging, go to the World Economic Forum, look up the Great Reset, and you will see that they're trying to get it into a digital pass where it's all tied into your money, your banking, and everything. And if they don't like what you're doing or not doing, they can affect your financial situation. And I have a few people that I know that already have been affected because they didn't like what they said on a video. They might not like what I'm saying on this video, but I'm just giving my opinion and leaving it up to everyone to look into it. So I hear my phone ringing. On that note, I'm going to get going. And I hope that you'll all just consider the fact or the basic facts before you buy into this system. And I hope that more and more people don't participate in it because they do realize where it might be going. And we really don't want it to go there. It's not to protect you, to protect your health. You have to do that on your own. You go get your shots if you need them. You go, you wear your mask, you social distance, do whatever it is you feel you have to do for yourself and your family. But, do know that the VPAS and the V card, and it's being said by the council members, by the governing bodies, that it's not about health. We're doing it for other reasons. And they may kind of say it's about health, but if you just pull the curtain back just a little, you'll see that they really want to do other things with this. And I don't think it'll be fun for any of us if they go down that path and if we allow it. So let's all unify and stand together and say, okay, let's think through this rationally. And like I said, your belief and your viewpoint and my viewpoint, like we just have one part of the situation. And I think we all need to work together and try to live happily ever after. And all of us should be able to participate in society, even if we have to take some precautions. On that note, let's get rid of that VPAS, get rid of that V card, and I will talk to you soon on the next Health Freedom Series tip. If you want to learn more about me, please go to lisampepe.com or wellbeingawakening.com. I also do wellness and well-being coaching, and I do well-being card readings as well. So hope to see you over there soon, and have a great day and stay healthy. Bye-bye.